So, have you ever wondered why the thing you so desperately want to be here now isn't? Maybe you've done a lot of inner work, done some healing stuff. You feel like you listen to the right stuff. You're doing all the stuff. And you're like, okay, like, where's my thing? This thing that I want, whether it's that certain someone, that soulmate, love, that promotion, that business to kick off that you took the leap of faith to get into, whatever it is that you've been trying to experience differently, more of, maybe just better relationships, maybe just more free time, maybe just more financial freedom, whatever it might be. You're like, where is it? I don't know. Today, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the most common reason why the thing that you really want, like really bad, isn't here yet. So, there are three things that I want to bring into your consciousness. One is that your current reality, what you're currently experiencing, was created from your past, yesterday, day before, 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 5 years ago. Second, you might not be ready for the thing you think you want or you say you want. And third, what you're planting right now matters. What you're planting with your decisions, with your actions, with what you're choosing to put your mindset on today matters for what's going to come tomorrow. So, what I want to do is I want to unpack each one in a really practical way. For some of you, this might be new information. For some of you, this might just land differently. Sometimes when we just hear things at a different time from a different person, it hits us in a different way. So let's get into the first point. Your current reality isn't coming from your past. So, whatever you're experiencing right now, look around you. I want you to think about the thing that you really want. Is it more money? Is it a better relationship? Is it to have a relationship? Whatever that thing is, all of your thoughts, your beliefs, how you see the world, your paradigms, your wounds, your identity. So, the self concept, how you see yourself, your nervous system patterns, all the things that you consume on a daily, what you're listening to, what you're watching, who you're engaging with, the meaning that you put on certain experiences, all of that is creating your current set of circumstances. So I want to give you a couple examples. So one, there was a time that I was dating someone who helped me to learn what avoidant behavior was all about. I was in a relationship and married for a really long time, and this wasn't something that ever came up in that relationship. So I had no idea what avoidant anxious attachment was all about. And so, as I was in a relationship with this other person post divorce, I started to see behavior that was really strange. And at first, because I had been in my last relationship for 25 years, I didn't know what was normal, right? I hadn't dated in a long time. I was like, is this what it's like these days? And so it got me to start researching and reading and learning. And this is how I recognized a lot of patterns that were more avoidant. And you know what happens when you start to look things up on social media, right? The algorithm takes over, and all of a sudden, here, social media is nothing but avoidance, narcissists, emotionally unavailable people. And so then you just start like you're sucked in, right? And then you just start watching more and more and more. And then all of a sudden, you don't even realize it, but you're thinking, everybody, all these men are avoidance. All these men are. Now, I'm not saying you consciously walk around with that, but slow by slow, whatever you are putting in your feeding your mind is what starts to create belief systems with or without your permission. And so soon enough, I started noticing more and more people. So when that relationship ended, more and more people in my life, I was noticing these avoidant patterns, ghosters, just all this stuff that I hadn't experienced before. So what happened? Well, what happened was I had an experience. I started doing all this research. I started learning about something else. I started putting all my focus and attention on this thing. And then all of a sudden, your mind starts looking for the thing that you put in there. So that's your reticular activating system, right? It starts working to find proof of what you're starting to believe is true. And then all of a sudden, it starts showing up in your experience. So I could have taken that experience and just said, well, gosh, men, they suck. They suck. There's no good ones out there. I know not to do that, but it took a minute. It took some time to realize that I got sucked in, and it started to slowly change my mindset on the available men that were out there. And I had to go through several situations in dating of meeting the same type of person in a different package. So that's one example of things that are from your past are creating your current. So whatever I'm paying attention to yesterday is creating today. Okay. Another example. I ran into someone who I had went on one date with and very politely told them the next day I wasn't interested in continuing. And they were out. I was out. I probably wasn't supposed to be out because I had some health procedures and was told not to really push it. And, I was kinder to my body, but I had been in the house all week, and my fire creator archetype can only handle so much. So, only so much stagnation. So, my body was ready to go. So, I needed some dancing, and I Latin dance. So, I went to a Latin dance venue. Well, soon after I got there, if you're in the Latin dance community, all of a sudden, a lot of people and you just kind of go from dance to dance to dance. So by the third dance, I was struggling. I couldn't breathe. It was like if I ran up 30 flights of stairs. I was like, and so I went to the back just so that I could not be asked to dance and take a moment. And I'm in my head and I'm thinking, okay, Erica, like, do you need to go? You're not really supposed to be doing a ton of physical activity right now. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be good. I just need a rest. And, I'm just going to do like 2 songs and take a break. And then maybe another 2 songs and take a break. So as I'm in my own head and dealing with my own body, some person comes up to me and I look, and it was this person I'd went on a date with. And they had said, did you not see me? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, I was sitting right there. Did you not notice me? And I'm like, no. And they did not believe me. And I had not been approached in that way. And I don't even know if ever. It felt pretty aggressive. And the situation reminded me how much our past wounds, our past experiences shape how we see the world, right? Our paradigms. And so in this case, it was a very short interaction. I went on with the rest of my night. I'm walking in my car. I look at my phone and I have several text messages from this person just going off on how I ignored them, how small I made them feel, and all of these things. And I was like, what is happening right now? Like, bro, seriously, didn't notice you there. But it was a great reminder because I also know that this person has had some not the best dating scenarios, and they have felt a little jaded, and they have their perception of what's happening now in the dating world isn't amazing. It's definitely more of these things are happening to me and people are rejecting me and women lie and they betray and all of these things. And so we can create projections and we can make up stories that aren't even there, right? So, yes, that was his experience, but that wasn't what happened because I didn't notice him. But his past then created his belief that women reject him, women are liars, and we can continue to fill in the blank, which is then what created his actions to show up in the way they did. So that's a great example of we carry around a lot of stuff and we see life through that stuff and think that's truth, that's fact. When oftentimes we're wrong. It's not. It's not truth, it's not fact. Okay. So one of the things in my Patterns to Power, I think one of the earlier weeks, that is a transformational 3-month course that you can do with me or on your own. And in one of the earlier weeks, we spend time on looking at the difference between how we see things through our patterns and what truth actually can look like. So, second point is you may not be ready for what you say you want. You might not be able to hold what you say you want. So you're asking for something, but you might not be ready for it. I love one of my mentors. He gives this really great example. He has small children, and one of them is like, he would never give his 3-year-old a brand new iPhone. Why? They'd probably break it. They wouldn't know what to do with it. That wouldn't be an appropriate thing to give a 3-year-old a brand new iPhone. You wouldn't give a 6-year-old $5 million. Why? They wouldn't know what to do with it. So when you're asking for something that you're not quite ready for, you either don't get the thing, or when you get it, you sabotage and then no longer have the thing. So an example would be, let's say, money. You want more money. You feel like you deserve to be earning X amount and you're not. Yet you might have some belief systems that are around people who have a lot of money are selfish. People who have a lot of money are greedy. People who have a lot of money are snooty. Money's evil. Money creates chaos. So if there's a part of you that you don't even recognize consciously that's operating in the background against what you want, then that thing can't come into you, or the money comes and then it leaks out in some ways. You start getting a bunch of bills. Bunch of bills start coming in, or you start spending the money quicker than it's coming, right? There's all these reasons why you just can't hold what you're saying you really want. So that was the second. The third is, what are you planting now? So the first point was we talked about how your past creates what you have today. So then that means whatever you're planting or focusing on today is going to create your tomorrow and next month and the next 3 months. So what are you planting with the conversations that you're having? I know for me, one of my biggest challenges is words, conversation, because my mind feels like I have to be super thorough. So when I bring people up to speed or I'm sharing about something, I need to go through all the details and I need to share what happened. But I don't need to share everything that happened. And there's a way that we can talk about the thing that empowers and creates better circumstances for our future than to talk about a thing that then creates more problems in the future. So the conversations that we have, the people that we have conversations with, the actions that we're taking today. So, am I taking action today from the place of the thing that I want? So, if I want this soulmate partner, am I acting today in alignment with that partner that I say I want? You know, a lot of times we say, I want this great partner, but we still struggle with boundaries, or we still struggle with, maybe we went to the extreme and now all of a sudden we have really great boundaries and we put ourselves first and now we're totally inconsiderate. I've seen that. I'm going to do a podcast on that in the future, just the contrast of when we start doing inner work, how we go from one extreme to another. But that can happen where we come from a place that we say we want this thing, but we don't really look at who we are today. And we're not necessarily taking actions today that match what we're saying we want. So, one of the things that I put together that really helps me to identify if I should do this or not do this, I have an alignment filter. And it's for business opportunities and it's for relationships, but it helps me to, and I talk about it in other podcasts, figure out, okay, this exciting thing that came in, is this really in alignment with what I'm saying I want? Because whatever I'm doing today then is going to impact my future. So we want in the current to be really mindful of whatever we're focusing on, paying attention to, whatever we're choosing to talk about, how we're choosing to show up today, coming from the person who has the thing, or are we coming from the person who doesn't have the thing and our energy is more desperate and needy or clingy or obsessive, or, you know, it has this feeling of, I don't have it. You know, people can feel that. People can feel when you feel like you don't have the thing, right? So in relationships, that's the whole anxious, avoidant dynamic. People can feel your energy when you really want something and you don't have it because your actions are more impatient and urgent and anxious and desperate and needy. And what I'm describing is the same with money. It's the same in any, you give me any topic, it's the same. The energy in which we bring to that situation, the other person can feel, and the result from that will be more of that. So we want to be calm, cool, collected. Like we already got the thing that we say we want, right? So there's three things that I recommend when we might be feeling like we're struggling because we don't have the thing yet. And we're like, where's it at? Well, these 3 things can help you to kind of get back on track, because focusing on the fact that you don't have it is not going to help your cause. So number 1 is stay engaged with things that keep whatever it is that you want top of mind. So if you're working on, let's say, increasing your financial wealth, your financial status, are you spending time with things related to building wealth and money and learning things? And is that making you feel excited, or is that thing reminding you that you don't have it? So if it keeps you excited and you're like, yes, it's coming, and you're preparing yourself for it, right? You're getting ready to receive that with someone who can do something with the thing that they got, then cool. If not, then number 2 is do something else. If you can do something to distract yourself from looking at the fact that you don't have it, and distraction can be in the sense of enjoying your life, do things that fill your bucket, that give you fulfillment and joy, whatever that might be. That's not related to the thing that you're wanting to have right now. And then number 3 is have someone in your life that challenges your thinking, because you are the picture in the frame. So that means you can't see your own shit. And you can't see usually when you get off path, unless you're starting to understand and learn your patterns, which is something I help people do. There are times for me, I can go 2 days and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I've been putting all my energy on this other thing I've been working toward that's not here yet. My mindset's there, my energy's there, my conversations are there. I'm like, whoa. And I work with mentors, right? So it's important that you're challenging your thoughts, your mindset. So I'm going to go through those 3 again. Number 1, I implore you to stay engaged with the things that are connected to your vision, whether it's learning new information about that thing through podcasts, through mentors, through conversations, through journaling, through anything that reconnects you to what you want. And if that feels good, keep doing that. And if that makes you feel more lack, then do something else that makes you feel really happy. Just totally let that topic go for as long as you need to let it go. That's like the whole let go, right? You've heard that? Let go, surrender, let go. Well, that's when things tend to show up, when you just turn your head to something else that makes you feel amazing. And then number 3, you want to make sure that you are not working within the same patterns, and that you don't stay with those thoughts and beliefs that are keeping you creating the same thing. And so you do that by making sure that someone around you is challenging you, is calling you out. So this is the foundation of the work that I do. There's 2 questions I'm always looking at, which is 1, what are the patterns that are keeping you in the same spot? And then number 2, how do you change the patterns? So the what, and then the how we can transform them. So I've mentioned archetypes a couple times. If you're wondering, well, what could I do to first understand what my wiring's about, how I operate, why I might be in the same patterns? Because our archetypal map will show us how we naturally show up in the world. And sometimes those patterns, not sometimes, those patterns can keep us doing the same things in the same way. So once you understand your own wiring, then you can start to work with that, feed your wiring, and also do things to expand other parts of you that maybe aren't so natural, so that you can experience more of what you want. So in the show notes, I have the link to the Energetic Frequency Archetype Quiz. You can start there. So just because you have not seen the new reality yet, it's all good. You're just in the gestation period. Out of the 6 energetic frequencies that I teach, this is one. And this is the one that sometimes keeps us feeling a little challenged, where we want to give up. I want you to feel like it is Christmas. Christmas is coming. Christmas, your birthday, whatever holiday you're excited about, it's coming. So you want to get excited and stay in that excitement for it. So if you look at it as a gestation period, then you're looking at it as I'm planting the seeds, and I'm going to choose to plant the seeds with new thoughts, new decisions, and new actions. All right. Till next time.